Bring your cup and take a seat. Fill it up, coffee, wine, or tea. Come find what you're looking for. A good pour.
Welcome back to A Good Pour. This is the very first episode of 2026. My good friend Ray Carman is here, which is always a different kind of episode because we could just go on and talk. But I, on purpose, wanted you here. It was going to be, we were scheduled for the end of 2025 just so we could reflect on the year. I actually think it works out better that you're here for the first episode of 2026 because I want to see how God's working in your life and talk about words of the year and all those things we typically talk about. But welcome back.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I think this is your third time, so you might be winning.
Second time.
It's just
second time. Yeah, we've done like 12 of those without the microphone.
That's right. You're right. You're right. This is the first time. Second time it's been in front of the microphone.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me what you learned last year.
Well, so if you remember, we were doing the F words last year.
That's right.
Yeah. Faith, family, fitness, follow. And it was really interesting because as we did the follow part, I got a phone call last year around June, July, not long after we did our podcast or this episode. And I got invited to come speak at a correctional facility in Indiana
because of the shepherd?
Because of the shepherd videos.
Oh, my goodness.
There were 21 inmates graduating from a pastoral program at a correctional facility in Indiana. I got to go speak to them. It was like so amazing. In fact, it was on December 6th. So I was just a month ago, just happened. So it was really, really neat to see how God, he used a lot of what happened from the podcast through the football, like the lessons I taught the boys, to go up there and to speak to these men.
Were you nervous?
Yes, very much so. Like this was I think the highest security prison in all of Indiana. But there were 21 men who've given their life to the Lord, 4 years of training to be pastors inside of prisons.
Wow. Because
most of them are there on life sentences. They're not coming out. And I was just amazed by the joy of the Lord that I saw in these men. So
that is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. So the whole follow me was follow me anywhere I go. And I was like, okay, Lord, here we go. So it was really neat. I got to take my dad with me too, which was an amazing trip just to hang out with him.
Do you want to do anything else with it?
With
a calling into helping.
Well, so we're
actually,
I just got off the phone minutes ago.
Okay.
Trying to introduce this program to a local church here that has a prison ministry. So I'm hopefully trying to connect that.
That's amazing.
I never heard of this program. It's called TUMI. It's called the Urban Ministry Institute. So it's developed by World Impact was who originally developed it. And it was specifically designed for inner city training, but some guys called early on, like 2 or 3 years after they began it, and took it into prisons in California. They're in 20 something prisons across the nation, and I'm like, yeah, let's see if we can get y'all on some more.
Wow.
So yeah. And then they called me and asked if I would let them use the videos in the other prisons. I'm like, oh, no, you can't do that. I'm kidding. I said, absolutely, go for it. So,
but I'll also come speak to other prisons, right? Like, I'll give another lesson. That's amazing.
It was a little odd because, they tried to hide me in the corner because they didn't tell them I was coming. Because all these men know me as the shepherd. They've been watching my videos for 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
So they were super excited.
Oh, yeah. It was kind of neat. Yeah.
That's incredible.
The shepherd's here.
That is incredible.
Yeah. It was really cool. God did some amazing stuff.
Did you see it follow anywhere else?
No, it just literally led into, it was a quiet move into wherever I said. Typically, that kind of trip, me personally, like that was like, Lord, I don't know if I really want to step foot in there. Because we were there, when you're in, you're not coming out till they say you come out.
Wow.
It's not one of those deals. It was very intense. They, had zero on you, like you can't carry anything in your pockets. And so, it's like, okay, the Lord's just kind of pressing me a little further into some stuff. And so, but again, this is like anywhere, let's go. So,
do you have any idea what's on the horizon for 2026?
Be still.
Okay. So you went follow and now be still.
I was speaking to my boys. So this past Sunday, listened to 2 sermons with our family together, and one was on prayer. The other was on the foundation of the word. And it was very neat. Go back to back on that to begin the year. And we were just talking about how it's almost impossible in our society to sit alone and be quiet in a room.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just sat there and was like, hey, let's see if we can start practicing 5 minutes of quietness individually, being still. And so today it was my first day, and I was like, guys, it was tough for 5 minutes to sit here and do nothing, think of nothing. When something creeps in, try to kick it back out. And be still.
So it's really interesting. I've been doing Words of the Year for
I know.
like 12 years.
I was excited.
And I used AI
Okay.
to help me just like, what are the patterns in the words, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a major pattern in movement and non-movement words. Right. So that's why I was commenting on follow and then to immediately have be still, because it's this like, and you'll hear this in my words, but it's like sometimes we need to be fed, right? To sit on the word and to learn as much as we can, and then that provides a foundation for what can be next, right? And so it was super cool to see this like seasons of non-movement, or I mean, there's always growth, right? Yeah. There's always growth, but it is, but not being as active, I guess, and then to have times of, okay, it's time to do the work, right?
Yeah.
So do you remember my word from last year?
Don't, please.
Okay, so it was multiply.
Okay.
I had no idea. Like the words always just come to me, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait for confirmation. But I had no idea. And what it ended up being, I think, well, one, I launched a new branch of the business in December. We're going to do Good AI Consulting, which is very much anything that comes along in the world can be used for good or bad, right? And so how do we use it for good? There's lots of things that I'm concerned about. There's lots of warnings, but how do we use it to help us be around people more, be in a relationship more? How do we get out of the mundane routine tasks and then go do the good work that, God has us to do? But more than anything, I think it was learning biblical multiplication. So I think so many times we try to add something, we're not fulfilled, or we feel like God has something more, so we're going to add in something. Whereas, multiplication is all over the Bible, and it is, we have to, be in the right place and using the right kind of soil and, interacting with the right kind of people and have the right motives. And so it was just, are all of these things aligned to allow multiplication, or is something? Because as soon as we put a zero in that multiplication formula, guess what happens?
Yeah, it goes to zero.
It goes to zero. Yeah. Right? And so if we're trying to do all these things, but it's on bad soil that's, basically equals a zero, then nothing happens. Right? Yeah. I don't think that there was true multiplication. I'm sure there is. Like if you were to look at my life or God's like, Kathryn, there was multiplication here, but it wasn't like, and I think I said this in the last podcast, I was just hoping to God that there was no family addition.
You didn't want one like I had? Is that what you
I did. But because I just was like, what does multiplication mean? But I thought it was going to be more of an active word. And it was a very much a learning word. I ended up learning, and you as a farmer and a shepherd, I really took a deep dive in seasons. Annie F. Down had a whole season. And so, we can be going through a winter season when it's not winter. And so it's, it's that waiting time but stuff is still happening under the ground, right? That's where the roots are coming in. And then spring it's about, branching out, but we have to be obedient for that to happen. We have to do the work in the spring, right? Yeah. And then summer is about enjoying it. And I mean, I don't know what happens that was one of, when I was studying this, it was like, summer is you done the work, but you still have to protect it, right? You still have to watch it from heat. And then of course, fall, we so much we think about harvest. But it's, we also have to preserve. We have to store up.
Yeah, for winter. Yeah.
We have to store up for winter. We have to store up for the hard times. Yeah. And so I learned so much. And so now the word of the year this year is steady. And I spent a lot of time going through Bible verses, like, what does this mean? And I really think it's just do the work. The verse, I started just a 7-day, like on the Bible app, and I'm going to forget the verse. You probably know it, but it's in Colossians, and it's just like, stay rooted and stay. And so I read the Message version. It was like, stop studying and do the work.
Yeah.
And so study for me is like, it's got to be this routine habit, good things that are coming, because my world, especially as I'm learning AI and it's changing, the worlds of marketing and AI are changing constantly. Like, it's so overwhelming. And so and I have a kid in college and I have a junior. And so how do I stay steady and do the work that not only, the Lord's work, like being in relationship with him, but do the work that I know I can do to do more good work. Right.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that was a long-winded answer to tell you my words, but it's just neat to look back and go, that was a season of stillness and learning, and something was happening under the ground.
Yeah.
And I don't know what steady means. It takes a full year for me to understand it. And even then, sometimes I don't understand it for years.
Yeah. Usually it takes time to look back and reflect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you meant by that. Yeah. Yeah. Because thinking back again against last year, after I spoke with you, we did football last year, which, and, parents' life can be like super consuming. But when you add in that Katie and I were both being the strength and conditioning coaches, and we were putting in extra time every week, there was a point in time I was like, man, Lord, how do I keep doing this? And I have a real estate business to work, and I have a farm to take care of. But, I'm the kind of personality that when I get in something, I give you my whole heart. And I was like, Lord, how are you going to provide through all this? Because I'm putting so much time and energy. And he's just like, follow. And literally, Kathryn, at the end of the year, I tell people this, like when football, as soon as it was over, he sent enough deals between that day and the middle of December to take care of more than what was necessary for a while. It's like his provisions are so much. He's just like, just do what I tell you to do. It's
the Lord just provide.
Yeah. You just, okay, Lord, here I am. And it's not that those are new reminders. It's just reminding us that he's always steady.
Yeah.
If you go back in the Old Testament, he told the Israelites so many times, remember what I have already done, because that tells you what I'm going to do. And it's when we start forgetting that, hey, this is what the Lord has done in my past. That's when the worry and anxiety and the things kick in. And he's just good and steady like that. So the whole be still thing with literally it was teach your children, right? Because that's the reason I spoke with the boys about it. I was like, boys, this isn't, there's a world, we were talking about AI, and I was like, there's a world coming that I'm unprepared to really teach you for, because I didn't live through that. Like, we lived through the 80s and the 90s.
Where we just took a bike outside and spent the day in nature.
And it's like, even today, speaking with my oldest son, it's like, we like phone calls over text. Our generation, I prefer you call me and talk to me. Their generation's all let me text or let me Snapchat, let me do something. And so it's like trying to learn to guide you through that. But the Lord is like, no, teach them to sit with me and teach them to be rooted in the word and teach them to be steady in prayer, because that's what's going to carry them through anything that comes in their way. Right. And so it's like, okay, Lord, that's what we're going to focus on. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah. So you just got done with a challenge where you were doing...
Oh, the uppercut challenge.
Uppercut. Yeah. Why did you pick that challenge, and what did it do?
So I love the gym. I've kind of fallen in love with fitness because it's a family thing. It's not just me. We're all together. Literally was just looking for something to be a little different for the end of the year, because we've, worked out, and if you're not careful, you get stagnant even in that. And so we have to do the works.
We have to do the steady work.
And so I was like, looking on Instagram one day and ran across a post of a gentleman he was LD Ford. And he had,
I don't know what that means.
It's his Instagram, LD Ford 03.
Oh, okay.
In case you want to check him out.
Okay.
But
that was some like weightlifting.
No, he's just a gentleman that was doing the challenge. He started, he's like, I'm doing this 100 uppercuts a day for 30 days. I was like, well, I can do that. And so I didn't really even say much to my wife and kids about it. I was just like, I'm going to do that. And then I told Katie, I was like, hey, I'm going to be doing this, and if you want to do it. And so we just did it. If you want to know the fitness part of it, it's rotational. It's kind of coming across the midline with the weight. So it works a lot of the core, and it's just a mentality of, can I finish 50 reps on each side. And I was trying
So
to
the
do
reps
it.
didn't increase.
No, the reps didn't increase. The weight did.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
And then, as I said on the very last post of the year, I was like, I got a little cocky. I got too much weight, and it cooked me really bad. I actually had to like go down in weight to finish up. So,
Did you see results? Was it more of a mental consistency?
just to prove myself that you can do something for 30 days and it be a good challenge, and I think that was just to be the steadiness of it. Talking about steady, it just, hey, let's remain steady. Let's not forget. I had to do it when I was on my trip up to Indiana. So it was like, had to be in a hotel and had to find a way to accomplish it there.
Wow.
And then we went on a trip to Hawaii as a family for 7 days, had to find a way to accomplish it there. There were days that we were in Hawaii that we were getting up early to go out and do stuff. So had to get a band and do it with a band instead of a kettlebell. And so it's just like, hey, just make sure you get it done. So
you were telling me all the ways I need to be steady this year. Like I have to do it even when I'm on vacation. I have to do the work when I don't want to do it. I have to do the work when it hurts.
Yep.
See, you're the perfect prep for my word of steady.
Or maybe you could just throw in the uppercuts to help you as like,
maybe.
do it, Kat.
I mean, that's the thing. We have to pick things to do, some of which challenge us, some of which just show up, right?
Yeah.
So the year was really good. So Caleb graduated in May.
Wow.
And we went on a Disney cruise in June with my parents. The first part of the year, I mean, just the graduation, all the activities, it was just super, super busy. But on the cruise, we realized my dad was having some symptoms that like something was going on. And so pretty much the whole back half of the year, I was still learning. I was still doing the work. I mean, like this work.
Yeah.
But I had an enormous hard time with Caleb even,
Yeah.
you're not gonna make me cry.
No, you're doing that yourself.
And then dad ended up having throat cancer, and this has been the hardest thing to watch. He, a guy who used to be as big as you, and he's lost a lot of weight. He couldn't eat. It's just very, very hard to watch. And so I think that's the other thing that steady is because as busy as I have been and how I have to kind of separate the hard, like I do the work, I try to show up for my clients and the community and all these things. And, Claire at home and my husband. But like internally, like it's real easy to just the hard part. Right. Mm-hmm. And so there's, you just want to numb out. Like I don't want to think about it. Yeah. And so I think that's the other real way that steady will show up, because I have to do the work even when it's hard.
Yeah.
Even when I just want to shut off my brain because I don't want to think about it. Right. Like I don't want to think about the hard things.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Well, and that's our tendency, especially in today's society when everything's quick and easy. Yeah. Like I can go on a website right now and order something, have it at my house this afternoon if I want to. It's the steady walk through whatever it is that he's given us to walk through. And it's Psalm 23.
Yeah.
I tell people, if you really look, I call it the yearly journey of the sheep, because the shepherd takes the sheep out and goes on a trip and they end up back at the home, back where they started. Mm-hmm. But it's all the things you have to go through. And you mentioned that seasons. I was thinking about that when you said it, is because one of the first things he does, he says he makes me lay down. He makes me rest before I go on the journey. Mm-hmm. And then when I get on the journey, he gives me something to eat, then he gives me something to drink, and then we go through the hard stuff. And it says, you're with me. Mm-hmm. And that's the key, right? It's like, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear nothing, because you are with me. Mm-hmm. And your rod and your staff, they take care of me, mm-hmm. whether that's correction or if that's protection. Yeah. He does all that. And so it's fun to look at all this and be like, we're at this stage in life now. I keep telling people I'm not old, but 50 literally just hit, right? It's like, I'm 50 now, and realizing that our strength fades, right? We know this. We watch this. My dad's in his 70s. Our strength fades, but our steadiness with Christ remains. And I see, like I tell people when I look at my parents or others that are their age, I go, man, I hope I'm that close to Jesus when I hit that age. Yeah. Not man, I hope I look like this, or I hope I feel like that. It's like, I hope I'm that close to Jesus.
Amen.
And that's the true goal.
Yeah.
It's like all this stuff we're working through and things He's given us to do. At the end of the day, am I that close to Jesus?
Yeah.
Am I walking with Him? Am I really, really close? Did I cling to Him? Did I hold to Him? Because I want to hear those words, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Welcome home." So
it's truly a circle.
it's a cycle. Yes.
Like you walk
yes.
in a circle.
That, well, if you go back to that culture, that's how they did that. They would take them out. You remember David, Joseph, like they had to go find them out in the fields because it was a trip. They had to take them out. They had to find the green pastures because it wasn't like they had a farm and all their farmland was all green. They have to go roam and find a place for the sheep to eat. And the shepherd was with them. And so the Lord had shown me a while back how that was like just an annual cycle. It was a trip that they made. And you always start at the house and you end at the house.
Yeah.
So
I think it's called The Journey of the Shepherd. It's a little small book. I'm sure you know it or seen it. If you haven't, you need to, I mean, you know all this stuff, but we did it in Sunday school this year. And we would talk about how like sheep's the dumbest animal and how much we are compared to sheep in the Bible.
The Lord had a reason for that.
And so somebody was like, yeah, if a sheep like falls over, they can't get back up by themselves. They have to have their master. And we're all like,
stand them up.
But we need the community. So we're like, we were just all talking to the Sunday school, like maybe all their baths were like, you can do it.
Yeah.
Cheering them on.
Or shepherd, please come see something that's wrong. No, I mean, sheep, they say a sheep that's alone will go crazy. Mm-hmm. So if you think about us, if we isolate ourselves, we tend to get lost in our thoughts and we can literally go crazy in our thoughts. So sheep need community.
Yeah.
And then sheep, if they do turn over and if they have a bloat in their belly, just too much in their belly, they literally can't stand back up. And they'll die if someone doesn't stand them up. Had that happen to me where, you're not home and you show up, how did that happen? And you find out, well, that sheep just couldn't stand up. There's also the reason there's sheep and goats. Because I've had some goats in life too.
Oh, okay.
They send sheep one way and goats the other.
Okay.
Goats in real life are that way too. I'll be honest, I was like, Lord, I never want to have goats ever again because of those things are evil.
So do you still have sheep now?
Well, a part of the following is we got rid of our sheep last year. And I'd tell people I traded my 4-legged in for 2-legged. So during this season of football with our boys in high school, it was really strenuous to try to keep all that up. And so we sold the sheep and we only have cattle now.
Okay.
Because that's a little bit easier to handle. And we're going to stay that way probably till the boys are finished with school. So got 4 years.
Okay. Yeah. How was football though?
Football's going great. We're start workouts today. That's where I've got to go when I leave here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we're off-season workouts will begin, and it's been good. It's been challenging. I text you the reason I couldn't come in November. My son had a fracture in his knee, and from a game, and it's like it's just one of those learning processes of.
And the mental battle with that can be just as tough as the physical battle.
And but it's also been good because he's just got back to doing some heavy lifting, and he's already stronger than he was before. And it's like, okay, Lord, another thing for him to learn is like setbacks aren't the end, right? It's just the beginning. So it's been good. It's been good. I'm looking forward to this season. It's good.
Good. Anything else you want to say today?
Yes, I want to know, how can I pray for you this year?
I want to show up and do the work, whatever that means. I want to do the work with God. I want to. Hold on. Let me see if I can read you this. This season is about grounded faithfulness with forward motion.
Mm.
And so there's a lot of other notes I have here, but it's confident but humble, active but unhurried, productive but peaceful, disciplined but spirit-led. So it's do the work, but do the work for the right reasons, right? But it's especially after a season where I wanted to lay down in the pasture instead of walking through the pasture, Yeah. This is the word I need. But I would love if you would pray for stillness and steadiness and just 2026 for whoever's listening would be amazing.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah. Father, thank you so much for today and for this opportunity to sit and to talk and to chat and to catch up. Lord, thank you for how you pour out into us daily Even when sometimes we feel like we're being unreceptive, Lord, you're still caring for us. You're still molding us. You're still creating us into the image that you want us to be. Lord, be still and steady are the two words for the year that seems to be coming out. So, Lord, I pray that you would help us to be faithful in what we have to do now, but also steady and moving forward in the places that you tell us to go. May we not become complacent in the green pasture we're currently in, even though the grass looks great and we could just sit here and eat. May we trust when you say come forward, and that we would follow you into the next place you have for us, trusting that where we're going is better than where we are. And Lord, we trust that you would make these things happen for your glory. Lord, I know that Kathryn and her heart, Josh and his heart, my heart, isn't that people would know us and remember us, but Lord, they would remember you and your name, and that your kingdom would grow. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thanks for being my friend.
Thank you.